Hail. I recently got my hands on the new Packable expandable backpack. And I wanted to talk a bit about it because there are a few reviews out there, but I don't think anyone's gone in depth and used it as much as I have in the last couple days. So let's unpack this thing and see what's in it. What to me was really cool is when, first of all, you get the bag, it's in a bag. And it's not just like a plastic throwaway bag. I mean, as you can see, it comes with one of those too, but it also comes with a pretty nice storage bag. And I usually don't keep these, but because the quality here is actually really good, I've used it over and over again. And I don't think a bag is meant to go in a bag and be stored, but this has changed my mind. And I actually always take it out, put it back in, maybe let it breathe a little bit depending on what's in it. But it's awesome. Now, the bag itself is kind of interesting because when I originally watched it, they've made some watched some reviews about it before making the purchase. They've made some design choices which I don't usually go for. And after using the bag for a while, it's been interesting how it's kind of changed in my mind. For starters, the bag with the lighter color on the interior, how the zippered water bottle pockets open, I would call it outwards, so like facing the back of the bag versus facing the person themselves. I would have probably done it the other way around just because I'm not a huge fan of the white sticking out. And as you can probably tell by some of these shots, with 2 bottles of spirits, some whiskey and tequila, the first time I used this bag was actually heading to a bachelor party. And you got to come prepared. And if you're ever thinking about doing something like that with this bag, just know those side pockets perfectly hold whatever you're trying to stick in there, whether it's a small water bottle, which I'll show you in a little bit, but small water bottles fit in perfectly and you can zip it up. By 5, I mean like 500 milliliters. But it's a pretty awesome, let's say, traveling companion if you've got a lot of liquids with you. Now, what's quite interesting is, of course, when you open it up at the top, I found myself using that top storage zippered pocket way more than I expected because if the water bottle pockets are full, you're probably not going to be using the front-facing pocket so much, and you're going to be using that internal, so 2 zippered access pocket. Now, just keep in mind, this is something I saw at the beginning, but as you are using the bag, it will start to crease. And especially at some interesting points, like if you look at how you pack it out or how I packed it up with the top relatively empty, you're going to notice that there will be some kind of crease marks on the zipper. Maybe it's problematic, but we'll see as time goes on. Now, as far as the back compartment here, I don't travel with a laptop. Doesn't matter if it's for work or if it's for pleasure. I usually only bring my tablet with me. And then this is actually quite a amazing back compartment because as you can see, I get to fit almost everything I need. I got my tablet back there, which I didn't use at all on that trip. I do get to put my charger, cable, everything right back there, and it fits perfectly. Now, I did decide to put the larger charger in the bottom or in the top middle because that's where I'm hoping I'm going to have the least amount of, let's say, direct contact with my back as the backpack pulls away from my back since there's no sternum strap, and that middle piece has got like the least amount of padding on it. And it worked out. I really didn't feel much. One thing I did have to play around with is the zipper positioning on the bag itself. So like as the zippers were at the top, I didn't ever feel them, but I did move them over to the side as time went on just to kind of make sure they're really not in the way. And of course that back hidden pocket, oh, I love that thing. I use it all the time. I always know where my passport is. It is a little bit of a pain to get into because of the straps, because if you're, let's say, at the airport, maybe keep it in your back pocket till you need to put it in there, but it works out well. Now, as you can see here as well, it does bulge quite a bit. So depending, like if you see here, I've got the most of the tech compartment filled out at the top where it's easier for me to access, and that really gives the bag quite a bulge. You'll see this bulge kind of go away as time goes on and I'm using the bag and wearing it more and more. But it is something at the beginning I noticed and bothered me, but as time went on, it was way less of a big deal. The strap lengths here. I'm not a particularly large human, relatively average, I'd say. Now, what that means is as I was kind of like using or as I'm wearing the bag, a lot of these straps were just way too long, way longer than they needed to be. And so I'll probably end up cutting these off, but just because the straps are so, like the straps of the bag themselves are really comfortable, and kind of the way that they've got that little top area on them, I don't see myself, even when the bag's like fully packed out at the 28 liters, I don't see myself using the sternum strap often, but I have multiple times removed the straps, put them back on. They've never fallen off the sternum area. In general, it's really good. Now, this is what I meant when there's no top access. Like if the bag is like this, I've got two big water bottles or something on the side, it's harder for me to get into that top compartment. Now, the top compartment, as you can see here too, does kind of stick out quite a bit. It does have its own area, which is good in the area that you can put way more stuff in there, and it doesn't interfere with what's inside. But just remember, it does stick out. So if the aesthetic piece, if it like a flat square bag is what you are looking for, you can do it, but you're just not going to be packing this one out as much as maybe you would another bag. Now, one thing that I do find myself really, let's say, doing, I spend a lot of time in airports, in trains, kind of in commute, and how the bag stands up by itself is something which I do try to like really focus on. As you can see here, this is another travel, so not the bachelor party. As I was at the airport, when I had to hang it on a small hook, and that's a small hook, the bag really comes off the wall a lot, and I'm super worried if someone tries to come in, it'll probably fall off. So have some type of carabiner, have some type of hook with you, just to make sure that that bag really doesn't come off the hook if someone tries to get in, shakes the door, or whatnot. But in general, this bag is a really nice airport companion. As you can imagine, going through security is a bit tough, but it's because how you're going to access and take out your laptop. But once that's done, it's really not a big deal. What I do like, again, is as it's got its own complete compartment, it fits everything right there. All I do, and I found myself doing this a lot, is kind of throw in the backpack straps over the backpack and just taking everything out, leaving it just like this, and being able to access or take whatever I want, and it's pretty straightforward. You'll see here I got kind of different cables and a different charger with me. Again, because I usually travel with a tablet, I don't have a lot of stuff, and it's pretty small and thin. So this back compartment worked out for me really well. Now the front compartment, I didn't show it on the last trip, but I've got things in there like my wallet, like a little stand for my phone, but basic things. But this makes it again annoying because as you see here, I had to kind of because so much of the bag is oriented upwards for you to unzip and access it, that's front side pocket kind of gets in the way for me. And quickly mentioned earlier, but that's a 500 milliliter bottle, very easy to take in and out and completely zip up. So if you don't want to have that, the tan color, which again, the color grew on me a lot, showing outwards as being like a unnecessary eye catcher, you can zip it all up if you've got a 500 milliliter water bottle. And if you're thinking, the bag does fit under the airplane seat in front of you, either if it's long ways, which I actually recommend. For me, this was way easier to grab and pull out and then access the things that I wanted to access. As you can see here, the bag is very lightly filled out. I had to travel with it pretty empty just for a couple-day work trip, and know that I was going to fill it out later. You can also leave it the other way around if you know you're going to be accessing the tech compartment, but both ways here, it was relatively straightforward and easy to use. I will show you in another flight, and I fly Swiss and Lufthansa flights, relatively easy for me to get this in and out, even put it sideways. How I had the bag packed out was just kind of like that little boxy packing cube, my bathroom, toiletries, and then I had to put all this other stuff, these kind of work trip giveaways in the bag as well. And I wanted to do this in a way that, again, wasn't too crazy, but didn't get way too heavy, but worked out just away for 2 days and stocked up on some stuff. Now, as you can see, one hand to zip and kind of put everything together, don't recommend it. Don't hold the camera in one hand and unzip it. Whatever you're doing, put it down, grab it, it's perfect. And as you can see here, even without the computer or something in the back to level the bag out, this thing is a killer and stands up really well. I barely ever had it fall over, and it was, in this way, again, top down, a perfect bag to use. It just makes that front side zip pocket a little bit less like usable from my perspective, but that didn't matter. Bag was all right. And what I just wanted to show here is like now I took the bag off as I'm waiting in a long line to board the flight. But even though I had the bag before pretty packed out, I was able to stick my sweater in there and even like a 1 liter bottle of whiskey, which I picked up at the airport. So this bag, even without adding the additional whatever it is, like 2 liters or a couple more liters, I've never actually had to use it, and I've just been really happy to know it's been an extra this entire time. I did wear this bag for a long time on this air portion of the flight, but as it was just, we were standing for way too long and not moving, I took it off. Again, here's another shot of the bag in the flight with me, and yeah, worked out pretty well. Again, as you can see kind of here, there's other bags. A lot of people have bags which are sticking out, and it's perfect. Now, a train ride, I was here standing since sitting on the flight for a while. This bag stands up again amazingly. It's not falling over. It's there, and it's rock solid. Even though it's relatively top heavy with a liter of heavy Jack Daniels bottle. Now, another flight I was on, I think relatively same pack out. I think this was a little bit longer, so I had more of clothes with me. But as you can see here, same setup, no matter where I'm at. This is kind of the position that it sits at. And it's also, if you need to pick it up quickly and move it around, it works out really well. But as I get somewhere, flip the shoulder straps over and access the tools which I need to work, and it's perfect. I did put, just to give you a quick view of it, on top as well on one flight. Perfectly fit, of course, as you would imagine. No problems at all. Even on the way back, actually, we got into a little bit of a security situation at the airport. Bag was perfect. Didn't wear it the whole time because, again, lines which weren't moving, but it was awesome. Now, I had another flight here where I had even more giveaways and even more clothes and stuff to bring with me. This time the bag was relatively filled out. Like, from my perspective, this was, I think, about a 5-day trip. And as you can see, it's the side compartments and everything really start to fill it out. This is the 3rd or 4th trip I've then taken with this bag, so I've really started to optimize kind of where things are. And because there's no direct top-down pocket, I end up using those side pockets, as you can see them bulging a bit, for more and more things. There's a power bank on one side. I even think I've hit my wallet in it for a while. Headphones go in the side pockets there too. Just way easier to access in that front zip pocket for me, since I don't really like swing the bag over and open it. But yeah. On that flight, you can see the bag was pretty packed out. Here I have it just right, like long ways. So whether or not if you want to stretch your legs out or keep it down, you can totally do it. It's really not a problem. Now you can kind of see here now the bag's been used a little bit and filled out more. That bulge on the back is not so intrusive. It really just took some time, but I think that's just how the bag was kind of like originally made, how it sits. But it does really flatten out as kind of time goes on and you have it longer and longer on your back. I'm going to show you here how to like pack it out a little bit. So essentially that top pocket, I do again use it quite a bit, that the exterior, those 2 internal pockets. But here I've got a larger packing cube, and that's got like a suit in there, a couple pairs of jeans, a couple pairs of like workout clothes. I think that's the XL size of this Eagle Creek packing cube, and it's a perfect fit. I mean, you do have to kind of play with the bag a little bit, but it fits in there perfectly. And as you close it over, it's like a wonderful covering. And that's like, if you wanted to do something like that, you definitely could. But as you're going to see here, I've got quite a bit of additional space on the sides, and I can keep packing this thing out. Again, never ever really open this all the way down. And what I ended up doing is I used to put it on the more padded laptop compartment, but it doesn't really matter to me now. I kind of put papers in there. I'd now just leave it in the tablet area. It's a 11-inch iPad Air, so even the thicker version, and it's got the Magic Keyboard on it. Everything else I have, couple cables, couple chargers, just fits into the top area, and no problem. I've got other things like a super light. I think that's a sweater. Just kind of jamming it up at the top. And if you're thinking where are your toiletries, you're on the right page, because that's not in yet. That comes in right here. I use a very thin and there's no pockets in it, but I've got a little organizer in there. But that's just a Peak Design packing cube, and I love it because it's a super forming, super flexible, and it works really well. What I actually did end up doing is that sweater that you see, I do put it in that front bottom or interior bottom pocket. It fits in there really well. And as you can see now, the bag's pretty well formed and fitted out. Side pockets, again, right now, I've got a little power bank, Anchor power bank in there on one side. And the other side, I usually try to keep open for like a water bottle or something like that. But in this case, I've got some snacks, sunglasses, and again, sometimes headphones or something might go in there as well. That front pocket, got some wipes. Again, as I'm on the road a lot, you never know, especially coming to the summer. This was during a heat wave, what the temperature is going to be like. But got my wallet and a top zip pocket. Things which kind of are smaller, might roll around. Don't want to fish them out the bottom, but I've got some mints, chapstick. And plus minus, that's it. It's not stuff that I really want to access all that often. And just to kind of show you, this was in the back of a car, just being thrown in. And yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. Now, next hotel. Again, this was a long trip. This was for 5 days. I think we were at 2 or 3 different hotels in 2 or 3 different locations. This is the bag. You won't really see it. This kind of, it has scruffed up a little bit, but nothing that's like specific to the bag or its design. It just is the material that's being used, and it's a good material. Those damages aren't bad. And like if you see here, you barely really see it. Now, as I unpack everything, you can see I got a whole bunch of other small things and hooks and, well, you name it, but stuff up at the top, the business cards, lanyards and stuff. And then down here is where I ended up putting that jacket, like I mentioned earlier. So it just fit in there, and it was perfect. If I need to get it, which is not that often, it's not that hard to get to because everything's in the packing cube and zipped up. Nothing's really going to fall out on its own. So get that big old packing cube out there. It's plus minus an empty bag at this point. But I really like this because especially for things like my button-down shirts and different types of pants, it really keeps it compact and tight in there. So I don't need to be worrying about extra really crazy wrinkles. And tip for anybody who is traveling in the summer, a linen button-down shirt or a linen suit jacket is a awesome way to travel because linen usually, I mean, first of all, I think people are kind of used to it having wrinkles in it just due to the material itself. So that just means it wears pretty well and is super thin, making it really comfortable, and you won't be overheating like everybody else, especially if you're at 2 events like I was and none of them having working AC. But yeah, you get the idea. Underwear, all the clothes, everything's in there. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to pack. Usually I just take out the things which need to be hung, hang them, and then everything else, toiletries, whatnot, they just stay in there until I need toiletries, socks, underwear, stuff to sleep in, stuff to go to the gym in. They just stay right there. All the other stuff, the small things I had, parking passes, those wipes, again, in that front pocket, pretty straightforward. Some pens and other things. Now the back compartment, just to give you like a full open down view of it, I've got a couple little stuff in here. So in this case, again, flip those handlebars all the way over. But this is where I'd leave the cable. It was out because I was using it in the car. I've got another cable, which I use, a little bit bigger, longer one. A little tech pouch, which has got a whole bunch of like SD cards and like little things all together. It's actually an old DJI. I think it's the mic set bag. Pretty big fan of the size and form factor there. And then I got like other small things. So again, this is a bag which at the beginning I was a little bit torn about when I first got it and opened it. I had some kind of hesitations about it. I was looking at this and some other bags, but as I'm living in Switzerland now, supporting Swiss entrepreneurs which are looking at getting or making a bag and entering a pretty tough market was something I just had to support. And I thought, hey, at the price point, this is an amazing bag. So let's give it a shot. And it's definitely grown on me. It's been very practical. As you can see, I'm packing it out a lot, and I've never had to extend it. So also the simplicity of its design, the outward expansion and outward space means that it's a 28 liter. And to be honest, I've had like the Air Travel 28. This is had way more space. It felt like form factor was nicer, it was easier to use. I could see there being some improvements made to that front zip pocket. Didn't really use it a lot, and the times which I did, it was more in the way, but that's just the way that I'm using the bag. Very cool bag, very cool company putting this together. I've heard that there might be some other bags coming out soon, so looking forward to trying and getting my hands on those if I can and if I have a need for it. But this bag was perfect, and I'm using it more and more and enjoying the use of it more and more too. I mean, been on multiple flights, multiple airlines, multiple train rides, and it's never ever been a problem. It's always been pretty inconspicuous, even fit in well at a bachelor party where everybody was like rolling around luggage on cobblestone floors in Germany. This bag was perfect, big enough to hold everything I needed, and then had my hands free for a beer or whatever else. So big fan. If you do get a chance to try it out and you think about, if you have questions about it or like how to pack out or what else, let me know. Happily get them answered for you, but huge fan of this packable bag, and look forward to keep using it as time goes on. By the way, the separate, I don't know if people talk about this enough, but the separate laptop compartment and tech pouch area for me is a big deal, because as I travel, if I'm going to like a meeting or a customer site and I bring the whole bag with me, this is my only one bag travel, I love the fact that I don't have to go through my clothes or other personal items to get like a dongle or something that I need or a charger. Everything is in its own separate compartment. I'm not over zipping or doing a lot. It's one access to everything I need to get my work done and to get in and out without my socks falling out of the bag or something even worse. So yeah, like the bag. Hope you do like it too. And yeah, you got questions, just let me know and maybe I can answer. Cheers, guys.